Morning everybody, this is a video to talk you through the basics of perfect competition. And perfect competition is a type of market structure, so therefore it's a way that firms can operate. And if you were looking at all of the market structures, the different types, perfect competition is the complete opposite of monopoly in many ways. Monopoly, which we'll come to later, can be where you have one firm or where a firm has a very large percentage of the market share. Perfect competition is the complete opposite of this. The main features of perfect competition are these. The type of markets that this might happen in would be the rice market, the potato market, for example. So number one, you have a homogeneous product. So it's exactly the same product that all of the people in the market is selling. There's no difference in what they're selling. So for example, it might be a type of rice like basmati rice and a certain type within that all of the farmers are growing. It's identical. Or it might be a type of potato. They're all growing, which is exactly the same. Also, we assume that there are low or no barriers to entry in the industry. That means it's very easy to get into the industry, to start being a firm within the industry. For example, growing rice or growing potatoes. The third one, we say that there are low or no sunk costs. A sunk cost is a cost that is like sinking to the bottom of the ocean. Once your cost has been incurred by your firm, you can't get that money back ever. So if you leave the market, you would lose that money. However, in perfect competition, we have low or no sunk costs. The fourth one, there are many buyers and sellers in the market. So you have lots and lots of firms, and you also have lots of buyers for the product. And the last one, the firms are all price takers. This is largely because of it being a homogeneous product that they're selling. They're all selling exactly the same thing. And therefore, that means that they all take the price in the market. Because if you charge a higher price than the market price, nobody will come to you. If you charge a lower price than the market price, you could charge a higher price. So why not? And the way that we show this in diagrams is we usually, for perfect competition, we draw two diagrams next to each other. And usually we do them this way round. On the right-hand side, this is the whole of the market. So let's say for rice. This is the market just for one firm. So first of all, we need to look at the whole of the market and we need to find out what this price is, because we know that our firm is going to be a price taker. And you know from Unit 1 that if you want to find out the price of anything, you just look at demand and supply. And when you've got your demand and supply, you see what the equilibrium price is, and you put this in with your dotted lines. So we know that this will be the price within the market, and this is the quantity within the market. Because this firm is going to be a price taker and it's going to charge the price from the market, we can then put in their average revenue curve. Remember, average revenue is your total revenue divided by your output. And remember, you always use your average revenue to find out your price. If you want to work through the maths of that, the average revenue gives you the price because total revenue is price times quantity. And we know that average revenue is total revenue divided by output. And total revenue divided by output is the same thing as total revenue divided by quantity. And we're left with price. So average revenue gives us our price. And therefore, because every firm must charge the market price, this will give us our average revenue curve. And also we know that, very importantly, every unit will be sold for the same price. And a result of that is that you receive the same amount of money for every single unit you sell, and therefore your price, average revenue, is going to be equal to your marginal revenue. Because for every single unit you sell, you get exactly the same amount of money. So for additional units of output, you receive exactly the same amount of money. So these two are equal. And this is something that, again, is unique to the perfectly competitive market. When we draw in our average revenue curve, it's going to be the price from the whole market. And so we take this curve across here. And this gives us our average revenue curve. And we know that average revenue is equal to demand. And we know also for perfect competition, it will equal to marginal revenue as well. The next thing that we need to do is we need to put in our marginal cost curve. And we assume that in perfect competition, the firms are profit maximizers. And therefore, they're producing where marginal cost is equal to marginal revenue. So they're producing, from this point, we can find the level of output which maximizes profit. So we come down and we find out the quantity. And it's this quantity here. And we know that this is the price. And then the final thing, we want to see if they're making a supernormal profit or not. And I'm going to show you, for now, just the long run position. And the long run position for perfect competition is that they will make a normal profit. And I'll show you in another video why this is. But to make a normal profit, your average revenue needs to be equal to your long run average cost. So therefore, if we put in our long run average cost curve there, remember that the lowest point must intersect the marginal cost curve. We're assuming this is all together here. That is the long run position, and you're making a normal profit where your average revenue is equal to your long run average cost.